I rise to introduce the Public Sector Ministerial Travel Report Amendment Bill 2023. This is a bill that tells ministers when, not if, they will be held to account for their spending. Why is this bill necessary? I want all ministerial departments to have their travel reporting standardised. There should be transparency, accountability, a standard of detail and a timeliness around spending reports. I trust everyone in this chamber will support the clear measures outlined in this bill. During a time of rising inflation, rising interest rates and rental and housing crises, South Australians deserve to know that politicians are accountable for their taxpayer dollars. On the 14th of February, the Advertiser reported a trip to the United States taken by the Treasurer, one public sector agency employee and one political staffer, and it was estimated that that trip for 3 people cost South Australian taxpayers $78,000. Politicians are servants of the people who elect them, and the Treasurer in particular is responsible for spending the money taxpayers give them on the necessities of running the state. The South Australian public is entitled to proper transparency as to how their taxpayer dollars are spent overseas and interstate trips. This is one trip in a list of overseas and interstate travel this government has undertaken within its first years of office: Japan, Korea, United States, Spain. We all want to know how much are you spending and what are you spending it on. The simple amendment calls for all ministers to report on their ministerial travel within 30 days of undertaking travel outside of South Australia. They must report on the reason and necessity for travel, the costs of travel such as transportation, accommodation, food, beverages and activity expenses, and a summary of activities undertaken. These reports are also applicable to all public sector agency employees and political staffers travelling with the minister. The report must then be laid before the Parliament within 6 sitting days. There may currently be various departmental reporting procedures and bulk annual reports where numbers are thrown together in a one-line summary or a code of conduct on spending, but they're not legislated and they're not standardised across all ministries. The difference with this legislation is it makes those reports specified and timely. Information is to be publicly disclosed in a relevant time frame, and it would expose any discretionary spending. I believe this amendment is the bare minimum the public are entitled to know regarding the interstate and overseas travel expenses of government ministers. It ensures all ministers report to the same standard. One Nation calls for politicians to be accountable to voters, and I believe we should be using taxpayer money frugally and conservatively in regards to travel. This amendment is overdue, and I commend this bill to the House.